boys and girls, welcome back to art. Hopefully you got a chance last week to watch the video and create your spaceship for Alien Invasion Part 1, and hopefully you colored it and added some value with some dark areas and some light areas. And you can see here I even added some shadow underneath certain areas and creating value. You can see the value with my grayscale here, and it goes from darker to lighter in the middle just to create some shape. So today, if you didn't finish that, you need to go back and watch Alien Invasion Part 1 and get that done. I told you we were going to be looking at the artist Jen Stark, and she's our inspiration for this part down here. She is an artist that lives in California and really focuses on patterns and even color. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I have a sheet of 9x12 watercolor paper, or just a good drawing paper. Make sure that it's some multi-medium paper so that you can use watercolors on it if you choose to, because this is watercolors and blending in. But if you're using dry materials, don't feel like you have to, then just use regular paper, but use crayons or colored pencils instead of using water on your paper. I'm using my 9x12. Last time I used a little bit bigger one, but this time I want to use more of a 9x12. I'm actually going to use my spaceship as my guide to start my drawing, and I'm going to be using some very organic shapes, being that you can't really define this as like, oh, it's a circle or it's a square. It's a very organic, fluid shape. So we're going to create those, and it's going to be kind of our spaceship, and it's coming out of our spaceship here. So I'm going to use this as my guide, and I'm going to create an organic shape so it looks like it's kind of using that explosion. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. Now notice I am using a Sharpie today, boys and girls. I would like for you to start off with a pencil, and then you can move to a Sharpie when you go to trace, because you are going to need one to create these lines. I just want you to use the pencil first so that you really shape what you're creating. So then I'm not following exactly the same organic shapes here, and it kind of looks like to me paint pouring out of it as well. And we're always coming back. Notice I'm just kind of contouring and I'm going around and I'm creating it, but I'm coming back to my spaceship here. So again, I'm going to create some more organic shapes, and I'm just kind of growing and keeping it on my paper. I'm going to do one more so I can stay on my paper here, but kind of grow it to the very end. You can see here I'm growing it to the very edge, and I'm going to just bring that back so that they're all coming up here, because eventually we're going to actually glue our spaceship with it. So you're using this to help guide you where you want to put your lines. So now I don't like how thin these are. I really want to make sure that they're nice thick lines. So I always tell the kids, you're going to draw it once and then trace it 3 times. So you'll draw it with the pencil, and then you're going to trace it 3 times with your Sharpie so that you can see I'm creating nice thick lines as opposed to thin lines. So go ahead and trace all of these so that you get those nice thick lines. All right, boys and girls, so I have traced all my lines over again 3 times, creating these nice thick lines as opposed to being really thin, so that they really stand out. So now I'm going to start creating my patterns, and I'm going to do like paint here coming out first. So my first one, the second one I'm going to do in a black and white pattern. So you can see here I did paint here with color, and then I did black and white pattern here. The pattern is something that repeats. So in this case, I am repeating my checkers here and creating a black and white pattern. So now I'm going to create, so here if I want to do the black and white checkered pattern, I'm just going to draw lines horizontal like this on the second one. Notice on the first one, that one is going to be one that I am painting on. So I'm not going to do anything on that one. And I'm going to go across and I'm going to create my lines so that right now I'm just doing, like I said, horizontal lines. But I need to go in that entire shape. So I'm going to come and I'm going to create the horizontal lines on this piece, because this is the same shape, it's just this one's sitting in front of it. So not only do I create the horizontal lines, but I have to create vertical lines going down. So I'm going to create those lines going down. But not only am I going to create that pattern where it kind of has like a waffle look to it, but now I actually have to color in so that I have my pattern. And I like to start where I know I can see my colors or my full shapes, and then I make sure that I stay in order so that I don't miss. So I'm going to do black, white, and I'm going to create this whole pattern so that way I make sure I don't mess up. So like here, I need to make sure that I don't color the one next to it so that no black pieces are touching and no white pieces are touching in these squares. So I'm going to go ahead and color in my black and white pattern. Yours does not have to look like mine. You can do your own black and white pattern, boys and girls. I'm just showing you options of what I'm doing in mine, boys and girls. So you can see that I finished the black and white pattern here. So I know that my next piece right here is going to be painted, and then it leaves this one right here so that I can do another black and white pattern. Here I just did stripes, but you can do other things. You can do polka dots, you can do just other patterns that you want to do that are in black and white. So I'm going to actually start by doing more of a curved line in here, and I'm going to go back in after I've done that, and I'm going to color in every other one. Just make sure that when you're doing it that you skip this one right here, because that's where we're going to be painting, and then again the last one is going to be painting as well. So I'm going to come back after I have completed some more of this pattern, and we will talk about painting with watercolors, or you can use your crayons, boys and girls. All right, boys and girls, so I have finished doing my thick organic lines here, and then I have created some spaces where I have left for painting. We're gonna do painting next week, so that way you have plenty of time to get this done, and if you didn't finish your alien, you can finish that up. And then I want to be able to talk to you guys about how we're gonna paint or use color or crayons or colored pencils, whatever you decide to use. So we are gonna stop this week with that and get your black and white patterns done using lines and repeating, because remember, a pattern is something that repeats. And get a chance to look at that website that I posted on the artist Jen Stark, so you can learn a little bit about her as well. So I will see you next week, boys and girls. Have fun and enjoy your art. Bye.